How's it going? Matthew here. And today I'd like to share with you one of the ideals which came out, which you would find would particularly serve you, especially when you are interacting with somebody who is much older and much more entrenched in their way of life. You're looking at somebody who perhaps have been living a certain lifestyle for at least 10 to 20 years or even more, and there isn't much change happening in their lives over this period of time. In other words, we're talking to the people who are very peaceful in their approach to life because everything has been the same. Now, especially in these times, this year is 2020. Many changes are happening. There's a lot of ups and downs in the stock market. People have to go into quarantine because of the movement of a cerveraceous virus. And there's a lot of changes this year. However, there still is the subset of people who are continually living in this past which they have created for themselves. For them, adapting to this change would be very harsh because it is almost as if they are doing something in which their body wasn't meant to be doing. To them, it's something like twisting their hand backwards and rotating their body the wrong way. It causes much hurt. Now, if you understand that these people tend to subsist in a range of life which is very limited, you would oftentimes find that when you are talking about something very particular, when you are being very objective about a certain point of view, that it will be very easy for them to be triggered. This triggering is no different to when you go out with the cool kids when you are young in school, and the cool kids do something which makes you feel uncomfortable because clearly you can't do it. Like, for example, skating and doing tricks, skating on the skateboard, or doing bicycle tricks. If you're not competent and you are with a group which is able to do that, suddenly you realize that you are the bottom of the totem pole, and that feeling is irksome to most people. That's why people like a stable lifestyle. They like to be with people who are like them and stagnate together. Now, the real challenge is, let's say you have come to a place whereby your range is very big because you have handled many ups and downs, you have successfully made the right decisions and limit the bad decisions from really taking away your future by reducing the effects of the bad. Then you would realize that, hey, when I speak about subjects or topics which are very extreme to them, not to you it's fine, it's normal. When you speak about such things, that tendency is that you trigger them. Now, how would you handle this frame of mind then? Okay, so do note that whenever you are having a conversation with people, know that it is like an electric cable. The ability of the electric cable to conduct electricity is dependent on the weakest link. What about weakest link? When we're talking about weakest link, we're referring to the point at which the connection snaps. In other words, if you view conversation as you just speaking, this is incorrect most of the time because many people have not brought themselves to a position where they could actually speak their mind because they are very insulated, just like a cable, Now, however, if you view conversation as something which occurs based on the weakest link, then you realize very soon that your ability to communicate with this person and to receive communication from others into yourself is dependent on how far you have been willing to let yourself conduct this information. So the proper approach is to identify where they are willing to go and start there, and know that it is not because of any form of evil or ill that they are unable to recognize the information that is being carried across to them. There is a saying that if you were truly compassionate, you would treat people according to what they feel is to be compassionate, not according to your standards. Because easily, if you were a drill instructor, and to you making your bed every day and then running 100 laps to be a normal thing. If you apply this to an old aged person who's on a wheelchair, it's going to hurt. It's not compassion. Although for the drill instructor, he could say that, hey, this is good for you. It is tough love. But for the person on the wheelchair, it's isolation. So I hope this framework works for you. Just remember that oftentimes conversations can only lead to something only in the event where there's a connection there, and that the depth of the connection is only determined by the weakest link. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos so far, feel free to subscribe. Share your input in the comments below, and I'll see you soon. Take care.